is your American dream?
I come from Myanmar. The American dream to me is to be able to start my own business one day.
I am from Texas. My family is from Guatemala. My American dream is pursuing happiness while also having stability.
I'm from Connecticut. My American dream is to fight for justice and to scream for the voiceless.
I'm from the former Soviet Union, which is now known as Russia. The American dream to me, despite being an immigrant, means to give the opportunities and dreams to my children the same way that my family gave to me.
I'm from China. My American dream is to be a fashion designer in New York because I love fashion so much.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Hi everybody! Groundhog Sam here. I hope you had a great weekend. I did. On Saturday, I hung out in my burrow. I totally chowed down on pretzel nuggets. And all I did was watch Brad Show Live reruns. That's right, Brad. You're so smart. Gosh, he's so smart. And he's such a hoot, too. Brad, my hero. So I'll tell you, man, never gets old. I love this show. And then on Sunday, I went with Patrice and Gladys and Jill to the Indian Culture Summer Family Festival. You'll see all the festivities tomorrow. You missed Friday's episode of Brad Show Live? Well, first of all, if you did, what the heck's wrong with you? But anyway, if you did, Belgium Kim went out on the street and tested people's knowledge of who invented it. American-born citizen or immigrant? And the answers really caught most people off guard. You just never know. Anna Escona, Miami Fuel correspondent, did another edition of This Just Doesn't Make Any Sense about the pizza delivery man who had ice cold on him when all he was trying to do was deliver pizza to a military base in Brooklyn. I don't know what is wrong with people. Brad spoke to family and matrimonial attorney Megan Balkwater about custody. Brad also spoke to Spar Bernstein trial attorney David Moreno about a case where he was able to get the charges put on a 17-year-old with no previous record taken off so that that teenage boy can grow up to move on with his life without a criminal record deterring him from all the wonderful things he wants to do in the future. What's on today's show? Well, you'll just have to wait and see. Do you guys like my bindi? See it, see it. Oh, bindi. Groundhog Sam at your service. Ha!
All right, welcome everybody. It is Bradshaw Live. We are live on a Tuesday. Sorry for the late start. We had a little technical glitch. I think we're still having it. So if you hear me talking like this, like I'm almost stuttering a little bit, that's Facebook. I don't have a stutter, unfortunately, or don't have a speaking problem, but we apparently are sticking a little bit on Facebook. So our apologies. We'll try to get it all fixed for you guys tomorrow, but we did want to start our show. And with that, welcome Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. Hello to all of you as well.
Hey.
I missed you guys.
I missed you.
Yes, yesterday was a bit of a rough day for me.
Yeah,
I'm not having a great summer.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No.
What happened?
No, not having a great summer. First, my gallbladder.
Yeah.
The gallbladder.
Gallbladder.
Yeah.
Right. And now my ligaments in my knee.
Your ligament.
Just went
What happened?
What, like you have a broken knee?
broken knee ligament.
Really?
Yeah, like.
Was it from twerking?
I don't know. It started from the twerking.
Are you serious?
Well, my knee was hurting me before the twerking, so if you actually see the twerking video, I'm not really, doing like getting full out
Yeah.
twerking.
Going
I was doing about 50% twerking.
Uh-huh.
That's
But I don't want to
50%.
blame the twerking video because I was fine after. But then, just unfortunately, I just took a step and went like nothing really happened. I think what happened, there it is. Yep. Wait. There it was. There it was. This is what I had. That's what I had.
Wait.
That's what I had. Wait, one more twerking second. But that's what I had. A good ligament. There we go. It looks like I'm having sex with a wooden chair. There. Doesn't that look like I'm having
It
sex
looks
with
like
a
you're
chair?
twerking on a chair.
Yeah.
Brad. That's the way you should look.
Was that Groundhog Sam?
That was Groundhog Sam. That was very, very close to me at
Did
that
you
moment.
not see this whole thing?
Yes.
I
and by the way,
I saw it
and by
at
the way,
Bathtub. I didn't
since
see that
the
one.
twerking video, Groundhog Sam, it looked like he was making a memorial to me, like I was
Right.
dead. But apparently, since that twerking video, Groundhog Sam has really gotten into
He's
Brad.
infatuated.
He's infatuated with me. He made like a whole shrine to me. He's living in a box with pictures of me now,
Oh my God.
all over the
That
place.
was hilarious.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, can you play the whole thing?
Well, play the whole thing again.
Please.
Oh, yes,
I think
the
everybody
best
else was.
minute you'll ever have.
Hold on.
Everybody dared me to twerk. What people don't realize is I twerk all day. It was no dare at all.
Go, Brad! Twerk, 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 twerk! Get your back into it! Twerk! Twerk, twerk, twerk! Yeah, Brad, twerk for the breakfast! Twerk like Nicki Minaj, Brad! Twerk like Nicki Minaj!
Clean the barbecue. I'll clean the barbecue.
Okay, but really, really work it! Twerk it! Twerk, twerk, twerk! Go, go, get lower! Yeah, that's it, that's it! Got it!
I followed through. I told you I was going to twerk. I twerked. You shared 500 shares. You got me twerking. They love playing this. That was not part of the show today. They love embarrassing me and doing this.
I'm dying.
So Jonathan, you never saw that before, right?
I was trying to see it, but it wouldn't play on my computer,
Yeah.
and I was like, "All right, I'm just gonna see it when I come back next week."
So any event, my knee was feeling okay. It was like 50-50. I was 50-50 on my knee. And then after, the ligament. By the way, while that twerking video was going, 10 people just shut it off. They were so nauseated. They were so nauseated by looking at me twerk
I don't think
that
that's
10 people shut it off.
I don't think so.
I was my knee was starting to hurt me after, but I was okay and actually, went out and did my thing and, even was, exercising and walking, and then all of a sudden this past weekend I just went, my ligament went.
Abigail,
This is not the summer for Brad for sure.
Right.
Abigail said that maybe since it wasn't the twerking that did it, you could twerk it back into place.
That's not a bad idea.
Right.
Right. Maybe I should electric slide it back into place.
Right, exactly.
Right. I think if the twerking got it out, I could electric slide right back in. Right.
Yeah. Wow.
So that was, by the way, just so you know, that was not done to embarrass me, although it was quite embarrassing. It was done because I did lose a bet to the Brad squad because about a month ago or 3 weeks ago, law offices Spar and Bernstein outshared Brad Show Live.
Yeah.
And I said if they did that, I would twerk.
You would twerk?
Yeah.
Right? I would dance.
Yeah, well,
I
you would dance.
And you did
then
You got dared.
And then I got dared in another show
Yeah.
to twerk, and I said, all right, I'm going to put the twerking and the dancing video together and do it one time,
was
which is what I
beautifully
did.
done.
And I was a man of my word, and I did it.
Beautifully
And you like
done.
that, huh?
I loved
Did
it.
you love that?
I loved
Yes,
it.
yeah. I'm
Please,
sure you did.
Please let me post it everywhere.
Right.
Brad.
So
Every show. That should
I'm
be
not
the
allowing
intro.
them to post it anywhere. So hello, Brenda. You only could watch it on the live Brad Show Live. Hello, Brenda, Marsha, Tamika, Alec Hockenberger popping in, Abigail Taylor Watson, Marsha Whitaker, Chin Carter saying hello, and Carol Anderson the Tiger, Ver Fullerton, Cordella Douglas, hello, Jella Shauna, Lisa Bling Rose, who I understand came to the office yesterday.
Yes.
But I was
here.
so you all met Lisa.
Yes.
Yes.
David
How
Moreno.
was
get
she?
to meet you.
How was she? What'd she have to say?
First of all, Lisa Bling Rose is gorgeous.
Really?
And in fact, blinged out from
She's
head
blinged
to
out.
toe.
So
Nice.
so it goes
Of her
it goes
name.
just like you're Belgium Kim. You're Belgiumed
I am
out.
Belgian.
Right. She's
Through and
blinged.
through.
She's blinged.
Oh yeah, no,
Yes.
she was, and it was really funny because David Moreno was walking through the waiting room, and she's like, "Hey, David," and he was like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm Lisa Bling," and then he introduced her to all of us. It was awesome.
All right. And so I'm sorry I missed Lisa. I was in the MRI machine, and unfortunately I wasn't able to get back for the show yesterday, which is why
Well,
it had to get canceled as previously indisposed. Malia Lobin Martin, hello, and who else here? Velma Gale, and hopefully Lisa and everyone else. They come visit whenever you want. Patrona Collins.
Mohammed Kamrul is new.
How about this new one? classic rock grantees.
I was looking at that.
Classic.
Classic rock grantees.
Oh, wow.
Right. So that, and he wants to know if a person on Social Security can marry. The answer, I'll give you the answer right now.
Oh, wow.
Yes, absolutely. And everybody, please give classic rock a great big hello from Brett.
Hello.
A grantees hello. Right, not a bente hello. Right, a grande. All right, we want the grantees hello. Yeah, that's funny. I like that. Dawn Harriet, Rob J. Roberts, hello. And we can go on and on. Sandra Shaw, Arlene Maria Lucis. Is that a new person, Belgium Kim?
She sounds. What's her
Rita
name?
Ritt.
Yeah, and Rita Ritt. We know.
Melanie Abiola Aline. She's been around for a while, and
Sandra
everybody
Shaw's
else.
new?
Yes, and by the way, everybody, since we started a little late, we'll wrap up a little late today.
Okay.
Okay, so we won't get gypped out at all. And please, everybody, in about 10 minutes or so, I'm going to be answering your immigration questions. So, and there's a lot going on in immigration this week, that's for sure. And if your pants weren't scared off you last week, they should be this week, based on what that orange dude in the White House is doing. So please, everybody, call with your immigration questions. We do want to help as many people as we can. We are in the helping business. We like to laugh also, but we're really in the helping business. So please give us a call at 1-800-529-5465, and that we will promise you, we'll get you on our show and we'll get your questions answered, and we're going to be doing that in about 15 minutes. And of course, if you're a little shy, you could always leave your questions on our Facebook feed. Also on our Twitter feed at Bradshaw Live. We will be answering questions first off of our Twitter feed before we answer them on Facebook, just because we want to get Twitter going, not that we don't like Facebook. And Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias will be answering those questions from us in about 30 minutes or so, 40 minutes or so. So please leave your questions. Yes, Jonathan, answer what you like. You will get the better questions, or you want. Yeah, you know what we can do? We could say, hey, we could ask people if they want you or Belgium Kim to read it off.
Oh.
Don't pit us against each
Oh
other.
yes,
United
everything's a contest here.
We are a united
Yeah,
front.
no.
Read
We want you to read your questions, right?
You want to do?
Oh yes, we're gonna pit everybody.
I feel like you would win that.
That's right. I don't know.
Everybody loves Kimmy Kim Kim.
We'll see.
Everyone
We'll
loves
see.
Kimmy
We'll
more
see.
than me.
And of course, follow us on Bradshaw Live on Instagram. You can follow us on Bradshaw Live at Instagram. Please follow us, because we will. If we started, I don't know, because I lost my login for Bradshaw Live. But you can tell me what it is after the show. So I changed phones as part of the fall, as part of my fall on the ground. And the tearing of my ligaments, so did my phone go as well.
Oh man!
So I had to go get a new phone as
What kind
well.
of phone?
Brad, you are struggling
Yes,
this
I got
summer.
a new
that an
iPhone
iPhone?
10, because I'm fancy, but I have no case on it
you're
yet.
crazy.
I'm crazy, right?
It's gonna crack into
It
a
won't
million
crack.
pieces again.
You might lose that after this show.
Lose it. All right, so please follow us on @Bradshaw Live,
Look at his
and
face.
Belgium Kim will give us Belgium. Give me my phone over here. I'm putting it in my pocket now.
It's gonna be like
Jonathan's got some sticky fingers over there. So no, I'm gonna put it back. I trust Jonathan. So please follow us at Bradshaw Live on Instagram. Follow us on @Bradshaw Live on Twitter. Obviously, we are live on @Bradshaw Live on Facebook. And if you want to be notified every time we come on live, you have to please follow and like us. You have to do both, so you can be notified when we come on live. You can also follow me personally at Bernstein_Brad, and Belgium Kim and Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias. You have any Instagram or Facebook pages you would like your followers to follow you on?
Actually,
Yes, I do.
Sure.
Yes, I do. Funny you would say such a thing. So anyway, back to now.
Yeah. You want to go first?
For me, follow me on Facebook at Belgium Kim. And if you want to get real personal, go to Instagram at Travel Queen Kim.
Awesome. And you can follow me on Instagram at Jonathan Elias TV.
So now that you were able to plug that, Q, last thing before we get into our schmoozing, and we've said hello to everybody, Q, please tell everybody what they will get for 700 shares today. It is the last day of the two-paid Brad or whatever.
This is the last
day
day?
of it. If they don't reach today, then they lose. I win. Okay. All right. And it was Yo-Yo's idea. We didn't get to it. We didn't get to it on Friday. Tell everybody what they get when they reach 700 shares today.
Oh, guys. Okay, if you guys reach 700 shares, you will get to see Brad fully made up and a whole nother person, toupee, makeup, outfit, and all. So you guys have to share. And in order to share, what you guys have to do is just look at the bottom right-hand side or left-hand side, whatever your phone or your computer does. But there's an arrow that points to the right-hand side. You click on that, share it to a page, share it into an inbox. You can actually invite people into the chat as well. Just comment and put an @ in their name. You guys just keep on sharing, though. Copy the link and send it in.
And what's our sharing at right now? Probably very low.
Right.
Okay. And it's always the same people who are sharing 10, 20, 30 times.
See, that's why. So since it's the same people that are doing that.
The people who are sharing 10, 20, 30 times need to get all the other Brad squatters. Like, you know, to share.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Although we have gotten some closeted Brad squatters out into the open with the
closeted Brad squatters.
Yeah, like Abigail has been watching for forever and was never in the comments. And then when we started share games, she was like, "Okay,
Really?
I'm sharing."
Wow.
All right. So where are we at, Maybe Groundhog Sam could make a comment and see where we're at in terms of sharing. We're probably very low right now. Would be my guess.
Well, I can.
We will see.
We can see. What are we at?
Jonathan Yo-Yo.
Okay,
Ellis.
he just told
24
us.
shares.
Yes, we're never reaching 700 unless they start going
24.
on a
Come on,
share. Unless they
guys.
go on a share
frenzy.
Right, you need a share frenzy right now.
Yeah.
What can we do to get people to be? You want to know why we want people to share besides making it fun? You know, which we do try to make it fun for the sharing, because right now Facebook screws you. They literally screw you. They basically will only show this page, this show of ours that we do, to people who either subscribe to Bradshaw Live or basically people who you share it to. So we want to help as many people as we can. We want to try to answer as many questions as we can. We want to have fun with as many people as we can. So we need you, the Brad Squad out there, to share it to your friends and family. So not only it helps build up our show, but it also helps as many people as we can.
Absolutely.
So, we're doing this. We ask you to do your share as well. How's that? And you liked how I put in do your share as well.
I like that. Share.
Okay, so please, last time, Jonathan Yo-Yo Ellis, tell them what they get for 700 shares.
700 shares.
Behind door number 1 for 700 shares.
That part.
I feel like a game show host. Tell them what they get, Jonathan.
What you guys get? What? What you guys get is Brad in full-on makeup. We don't even know what he's gonna be made into. Might be a Mrs. Doubtfire.
I was told a troll.
A troll. Jeff Bozy, I remember, said
Yes.
that. But you guys, you will not know what he gets unless you get over 700.
And
But
this
if
is
you
the last-
do get 700, that guy right there that you just saw,
Twerk.
it won't. It's
Won't
gonna
be
be 10 times
better than twerking.
than twerking. Are
Yes.
you serious?
Yes.
He's gonna be made up into a whole different person, makeup and all.
And I'm
Actually
gonna,
spend money on
and you're gonna
this.
watch me going down the street talking to people.
Oh my God!
Yes.
Wait, that
Yes.
was just added.
Yes.
That was. I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
so it's gonna be it'll be a funny thing.
You guys, please, because I really want to see this.
Yes.
You
It'll be a
guys
very
must
funny
wanna
thing.
see this as my
Joe's in the back. Oh, really?
Right. That's why I was like, whoa, for real?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm here for it.
All
Are
right.
you?
So, with that being said, let's schmooze a little bit before we get to our immigration calls at 1-800-529-5465. Just a terrible day when it comes to helping minorities and immigrants today. So, we do have to get serious for a few
Yes.
minutes. The biggest immigration story today was the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Trump against the states that brought the request to have the travel ban from 7 predominantly Muslim countries reversed.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court said that Trump has every right on its face to ban people if he wants to. They would not look at his prior comments to say he wanted to ban Muslims. They said that it was not part of the executive order that he was banning Muslims. He just said he was banning people from certain countries because they're unable to vet them properly on the safety of the United States of America. And 5 Supreme Court justices refused to look at all of his comments for the last 3 years that were racist in nature, that he said blatantly we don't want Muslims in America.
Right.
Exactly.
And Trump immediately reacted on Twitter. He was the first person to find out. And he wrote in bold letters, Supreme Court upholds Trump travel ban. Wow. That was my reaction as well. Wow.
Wow.
Okay, but for a different reason. Judge Sotomayor, who is turning into one of the most eloquent judges, especially in her dissents. You know, people who actually follow the law have been really commenting that Sotomayor has been very, very eloquent in her dissenting opinions. She wrote, the majority here completely sets aside the president's charged statements about Muslims as being irrelevant. That holding erodes the foundational principles of religious tolerance that the court elsewhere has so emphatically protected, and it tells members of minority religions in our country that they are outsiders, not full members of the political community. She also compared the opinion to one that came down in 1944, in which the court blessed the internment of Japanese-Americans during World War II. So after the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, the Japanese-Americans who had U.S. passports were put into similar camps that are happening right now on the border because there was a frenzy in World War II. They didn't know if the Japanese-Americans were spies, not spies, and they basically rounded them all up for security reasons. Now, in an opportunity which I think is poorly disguised to make the Supreme Court look not racist, they overturned that decision and said, as by the way, there's a difference between what we're doing, which is these are people who are non-citizens who are not in the United States of America versus American citizens. We would never suggest that American citizens of any nationality or minority ever be put in any sort of camp or anything. So they did say that, you know, in their decision overruling that, but I think that's a little...
It feels like it's splitting hairs a little bit.
No, I just think it's just, you know, make them feel better to show that, hey, I'm not being racist.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
absolutely.
Right. So Donald Trump also advocated, and I'll give you my 2 cents on this as well. He also advocated depriving undocumented immigrants of due process rights. He said that nobody should be able to go see a judge. Nobody should be able to get a hearing to see whether they have a claim for asylum. So he can say whatever he wants, but until they anoint him king of America, which is what he believes he is, he believes he's the king of America, but he's the president of the United States of America, there has to be a congressional law that says that. And then we have something called the Constitution that was written 250 years ago that enshrines due process rights in everybody in the United States of America. And there's something called the Hague Convention that the United States is a signatory of that allows for every country as part of that Hague Convention to accept refugees and interview them and accept people who are fleeing from violence. So, you know, it's a lot more rhetoric than, you know, actually happening. Although Donald Trump did in the beginning of his presidency, what the law says, and this hasn't been challenged yet all the way up to the Supreme Court, and maybe it will one day, okay? What the law says is that if you are not entered the United States of America, you don't have the entitlement to see a judge. And what was the regulations up until Donald Trump became president of the United States is that if you entered the country without inspection and you were caught within the United States within the first 14 days of your entry without inspection, it's presumed that you are not in the United States yet and you can be deported without seeing a judge unless you have a valid claim for asylum. Now, Donald Trump changed that regulation when he first became president to 2 years. So if you're caught within the United States within the first 2 years of your entry and you don't have a valid document, they can deport you under Donald Trump's regulations without seeing a judge unless you make a claim for asylum.
Oh, wow.
So what he's saying is now in this tweet is, it doesn't matter if you were here for 30 years without inspection. It doesn't even matter if you're claiming asylum. We're throwing you out if you entered without inspection. That's going to be very hard to constitutionally, but you know, I'm not a constitutional scholar. I'm just the guy on Bradshaw Live who's a really smart dude with a good immigration brain. So we'll see what happens there. Rachel Maddow.
Love her.
You love her?
I love Rachel.
Yeah. When is she on?
MSNBC.
I know, but when? 9 o'clock at night?
9:30.
Yeah, I got to start watching her. I watch her. I watch. her little snippets on
Yeah.
Facebook, but I
Me
don't watch
too,
the
right.
whole show.
Yeah, I do not watch the whole Kim.
And the reason is because I'm usually eating dinner around that time because by the time our show is over, I'm out to dinner.
That's
kinda late.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
when I eat. That's why I'm fat. I should be eating dinner by 5
Early.
and not eating after that.
Yeah,
But this is not the diet show. This is the Bradshaw Live. And anyway, Rachel Maddow, she leaked some footage of immigrant children being separated from their parents at the East Harlem shelter right up here
Wow.
in Manhattan. Over 200 children were separated and brought to New York City. We talked about that last
Right.
week. Local politicians, including Mayor de Blasio, did not know until a news crew actually shot footage of children being brought in the middle of the night. So it was done under cover of darkness. Nobody knew these children were there. A worker at the Cayuga Center in East Harlem, one of the facilities where the children are being held, took photos and video of the children inside the facility. These are children who were separated from their parents at the border. We don't know if these children will ever see their parents again. The worker has since left her job at the facility. She told Maddow that she took the children to release to the media. She took the video to release to the media because it's important to make a difference. I feel that it's time for everybody to stand up and to stop being afraid and actually help these children who are being separated from their family. We have some video of that we can show. Maybe not. Maybe we do. Maybe we don't.
¿Quieres hablar con tu mamá? ¿Quieres que llame a tu trabajadora? ¿Sí? ¿Cómo te llamas? Jessica. Ya, Jessica, no llores, ¿ok?
So what is being said is, what is being said here? The adults speaking Spanish. And do you know that the other thing is that is most important that I know I'm not supposed to be telling you, but I'm going to tell you the truth. If for whatever reason you tell a reporter, you know what's going to happen in your case. That's what she's saying.
Wow.
So the worker was very critical of the amount of case managers, medical professionals, and workers at the facility. She said many more workers are needed to care for these incredibly young children.
Wow.
And then Rachel Maddow broke into tears. This has caused protests all over the country. There was Aliyah Salam and Nahila Morales. They were accompanied by Nahila's son Andrew, participating in a community action at the border, the McKellen border station.
Oh, wow.
Where they're separating unaccompanied minor immigrants. After about 30 minutes of a typical protest and chants at a large bus exiting the facility, carrying children ranging in age from 2 years up to be brought around the country and separated from their teens. Salam and Morales reported that the bus was effectively a rolling cage with bars across the windows and separation barriers inside the bus. So it's not that this was like a school bus and the children were sitting on the school bus.
Right.
This was a bus that was meant for people who are in jail.
Right.
That each seat had its own cage.
Crazy.
Let's watch the video on that. No video on that. So in an unplanned effort, the entire group of protesters planted themselves in front and behind the bus to try to stop it until they were moved away. And we have dramatic photos, not a video.
Okay.
Did we see the dramatic photos? Let's see some. No, we have no dramatic photos. We have no dramatic photos either.
Okay.
Okay. So in Suffolk in Suffolk County, there's protests. There's a huge protest tomorrow in Washington, D.C. And Thursday. It's the March Against Family Separation in Washington, D.C. I'm sorry, it's this Thursday on June 28th. And that's going to be one of the biggest protests for immigration, for immigrants. And if you want to know about that protest, you can go to www.endfamilyseparation.us, #EndFamilyDetention, #EndFamiliesBeingTogether. There was a protest right here in New York. I mean, there's protests everywhere.
Right.
I mean, you
Yeah,
can't go down the
absolutely.
street now without seeing a protest.
Right.
Yeah.
So we sent actually our own Brittany
Yes.
to see the protest and film it to see what's happening at one of these
Right.
protests. So this protest was particular because it was on the last day of school, public school here in New York City, and kids and families gathered down the street from our office right in front of immigration to tell ICE that the community will not stand by while families are being torn apart. Let's watch.
We are all here in support of 32BJ member Albana and Dochi and all immigrant families fighting to remain together.
We're celebrating 32BJ member Albana She got called into ICE. It was potential that she could get deported today, but they allowed her a stay for another year, so she won't have to check in with ICE for another year.
To this family, a year of putting something on hold or waiting is not a comforting state. Those are 365 days of uncertainty. 365 days of wondering what happens at the end of the day. We've all come from another country. So when people are saying go back to your country, we're saying we'll go back when you go back to yours first.
What brings me out here today is to show support and to just not sit and remain silent. History is gonna judge us. History is gonna say, you know, what were you doing on the day of the Muslim ban when it was upheld by the Supreme Court? President Trump is known to say these things that are xenophobic or Islamophobic, but when the highest court of America actually kind of gives them the green light to continue with these policies, it just kind of makes me lose faith in our justice system.
Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Please give a warm welcome to our public advocate, Tish James.
These are policies that could separate these hardworking mothers and her three beautiful daughters, but we won't allow it. Trump claims that his policies focus primarily on supporting criminal terrorists. She's not a terrorist. She's not a criminal.
All that we've done in this city of telling the documented and undocumented that this is a safe haven, we are killing that. When you take a young man who delivered pizza inside an army base with a municipal ID, and all of a sudden that municipal ID becomes a scarlet letter,
that's right,
that they now feel as though if you have it, this causes us to dig deeper and to determine your status. You're killing all that we've accomplished in the municipal ID.
This has always been a land of immigrants, and my grandparents were immigrants, and I believe that we all need to stand together and support the most vulnerable.
And we will continue to demand that Congress work towards fixing our broken immigration system.
So that was what was happening in New York today, and that was a pretty good job there by Brittany. More than a pretty good job, excellent
really
job
good.
by Brittany, jumping on that and going down the street and seeing what's going on. I do want to remind people that on Thursday, June 28th, it's the Women's March, and it's going to be one of the most massive civil disobedience marches, hopefully, fingers crossed. They are calling on women from all communities to send on our nation's capital and demand the safety and freedom of immigrant families and children. The women are going to put their bodies on the line to demand an end. When they're putting their bodies on the line in terms of a protest, let me make it clear. On the line to demand an end to this administration's zero-tolerance policy that automatically criminalizes undocumented immigrants and tears families apart, and to call on Congress to abolish ICE, an agency that is terrorizing our communities every day. These are the pictures. What are these the pictures of? These are the pictures from the children in the buses.
Wow.
I'm having trouble seeing it because I don't have my glasses on. Can you
it.
go back and put the pictures and kind of describe what you see, Jonathan, to me?
So it's, they're just, you see them just looking really somber in the buses, but you also see, like, you could tell it's a prison bus. Like, they have cages behind it.
Look at that little child.
Yeah.
A little child.
Yeah, put that back up.
Yeah, those children seem so young. They are just so
and
little.
just don't know what's going on, you know, like, it's you could just see it through his eyes. Yeah.
So anyway, the Women's March wants to put an end to this. So they're going to take action on June 28th, demanding lawmakers and federal officials do everything in their power to #end family detention. I'm reading here, marching is no longer enough, not when this administration is enacting policies that violently separate families, incarcerate children in detention camps, criminalizes human beings coming into our country in search of safety. Not when we see photos and videos of this child, for sure.
Right.
And by the way, there's thousands of children, maybe more, who knows, separated from their families and held in child prison, even to this day. When you see cries from their parents, cries from their children, the fear, the trauma, you never get over this.
Right.
Yeah.
You never get over this. So if anybody is interested, please go look on the web at www.endfamilydetention.org. FamilySeparation.us, and I'm thinking that maybe we should send somebody down from Bradshaw Live to cover that. I think it's going to be important.
Yeah.
So,
DC?
DC. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that after. Yeah. We may have to go on a road trip and cover that one.
Definitely.
We'll see.
Road trip it is.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Carlos Gutierrez used to be one of the head Commerce Secretary. What was he? The Commerce Secretary under George W. Bush? Yes, he was the Commerce Secretary. That's what I thought. He was the Commerce Secretary under George W. Bush, and he used to be the CEO of Kellogg's. You know, Snap, Crackle, Pop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Fruit Loops.
All of those.
All of those. Tony the Tiger.
Flakes, right.
Frosted Flakes. Tony the Tiger. I mean, so this guy, he knows a lot of different characters.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's true, you know.
It is.
All right. I mean, you got to be a smart guy to, do all
Absolutely.
that stuff. So he had probably the smartest thing to say that I have heard, in all seriousness, about all of this, in terms of summing it up in 1 or 2 sentences. I mean, a lot of people have had a lot of smart things to say, but he had something really smart to say in a very succinct sentence. And what he said is, we're confusing toughness with cruelty.
Yeah.
That there is a difference between being tough and being cruel.
Yes.
And we are confusing that as a nation.
Yeah.
Okay, and what's happening at the border, and what's happening with immigration in general, and what's happening with the demonization of minorities and immigrants is cruel.
It's cruel.
Yes.
And that's different than being tough.
Yeah.
And that's different than being a law and order person.
Yeah.
And that's different than saying we want to be safe.
I agree.
Yes.
Because what's happening is nobody says we want to be not safe.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
I don't think there's a human being that says, yes, we don't want to be safe in America.
Right.
Right.
And I don't think there's a human being that says, you know what, if you had a reasonable law, people should follow it. The laws aren't reasonable, which is why people are doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
But there's certainly a difference between toughness and cruelty. And then certainly he even, where, children are being, we saw that picture of the boy on the bus. Okay, so here's the picture of the boy on the bus. And this is what's happening at the border. And Fox News, they're not talking about this boy on the bus.
Of course not.
Okay?
Exactly.
They're talking about Sarah Huckabee being kicked out of a restaurant.
A restaurant, right.
Okay, that's their big story. Okay? So when you compare the humiliation of Sarah Huckabee versus the humiliation of that boy, I don't understand why Fox would be starting with Sarah Huckabee. And Carlos Gutierrez, who's a Republican.
Right.
Okay, this is a Republican who worked for George W. Bush. He said, I'm sorry that Sarah Huckabee Sanders had a bad day. I'm not too worried about Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I'm worried about the African-American kid in school who gets harassed by kids who think they have a license to harass because the president says so.
Exactly.
He said, I'm worried about the Hispanic kid, the Hispanic American citizen who was harassed at school and called a member of the MS-13 because the president calls immigrants from Hispanic countries members of MS-13. I'm not worried about Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I'm worried about millions of kids that today are seeing a different America.
Yep.
And by the way, for those who don't know, Sarah Huckabee Sanders got kicked out of a restaurant because, the restaurant owner didn't like Donald Trump.
Right.
So the owner of the Red Hen restaurant in Virginia said Stephanie Wilkinson told the Washington Post her staff felt uncomfortable with Sanders in the restaurant. I have a business and I want the business to thrive. This feels like the moment in our democracy when people have to make uncomfortable actions and decisions to uphold their morals.
I'm happy they did that.
So and this was in Lexington, Virginia. And by the way, whether she did it for politics or not, it's probably the best business decision she ever made in her life. Because she got Donald Trump to tweet about the Red Hen. Nobody heard of this restaurant. Nobody ever heard of the Red Hen restaurant before. Now everybody's heard about the Red Hen restaurant, and every liberal is going to make sure that Red Hen restaurant doesn't go out of business. They're all going there to eat. There'll be a waiting list for years for the Red Hen restaurant.
As a matter of fact, if we go down there for the march,
Right.
we most definitely
Right.
need to go.
You get Donald Trump to tweet even something bad about you.
Listen,
Guess what?
That's free publicity.
It's free publicity.
Yeah.
All right. Look
what'll really sink you if he tweets something good about you.
Yeah, exactly. Look at Jimmy Fallon. All of a sudden, now everybody's going to want to watch a Jimmy Fallon show,
exactly.
right? He and Donald Trump are in a tweeting war now, right? And Jimmy Fallon had the funniest thing to say. He goes, I was going to respond to Donald Trump, because I don't know if you know the story. Jimmy Fallon rubbed Donald Trump's hair on the Tonight Show. There was a scene, when he came to interview him during the election.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Fallon said he feels bad that he did that because that humanized Donald Trump, and he really shouldn't have, because he's really not a human being, and he should not have tried to humanize Donald Trump.
Right.
And he's sorry he did that because Jimmy Fallon now feels that he had some hand in Donald Trump being elected when he's totally anti-Trump.
Right.
And and he was just doing it for entertainment purposes. He's really not a political pundit. So Donald Trump tweeted back something to the effect that Jimmy Fallon's a nice guy, but he's a pretty weak dude, and he's lucky he had me on the show, and some nasty stuff about Jimmy Fallon. So then Jimmy Fallon on the Tonight Show last night, I was actually watching. It was actually very funny, and he says, I was going to tweet something back, but then I had more important things to do, and then I was wondering, wait, doesn't the president have more important things to do than tweet about me? I mean,
exactly.
Right. So
anytime these tweet wars happen, that's exactly what.
Exactly.
Like, what are you doing?
Right. Don't you have more important things to do than tweet about Jimmy Fallon?
I don't have time to tweet at work, and my job is not that important as the presidency.
We'll get to the rest of the news later, but we got to get to immigration right now.
Yes.
The telephone number we have. Pauline from Plainfield, New Jersey, who's been waiting 47 minutes to ask a question.
Pauline.
So, Pauline, we're going to get to you in about 2 minutes or so. The number to call right now is 1-800-529-5465. Coming up next is going to be our immigration calls. But before we get to our immigration calls, we do have to remind everybody that today is the last day to reach 700 shares. And Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, you tell the audience what they get for 700 shares.
Yes, for 700 shares, what you get is this man, this great man, Brad, in another costume, whatever you guys actually want. I think that we should just give you guys the say so. So if you get to 700, you guys get to pick what you want Brad to dress up as, the wig, makeup, full-on costume, and he will go out in the streets of New York City and talk to people. You guys will experience the whole thing, and I'll be behind him laughing the whole time.
Yes.
So please share. And how do we share, Kim?
Oh, we click that little arrow at the bottom. You share on your wall, you share on your timeline, you share on your friend's timeline. You write a little note that says, hey, watch this show. This is the best show ever. And then you send it to everyone. You click invite. Brad showed you last week. He did 20 in 20 seconds. It takes no time at all.
None.
And it's so far an abysmal showing, guys.
So tough it up and start sharing. Tough it up and start sharing.
Not cruel, but tough.
And with that, that's right. You can be tough, but you can't be cruel.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay? You can be tough, but not cruel.
Yeah.
I love that.
Right? And I respect tough people.
Yes.
I don't respect cruel people.
Exactly.
All right. And Tamika, by the way, said Jimmy Fallon rubbed the daylight out of his head.
Right.
So with that, we have something called You Got Some Questions, We Got Some Answers. You're getting answers. Call with your immigration questions. Whatever we call it, that's what we call it. That's basically me answering your immigration questions. 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Pauline in Plainfield, New Jersey. Pauline.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a daughter in Jamaica, and she has a little girl that's here. She went to the Cayman Islands for 2 years, and the best person she gave to keep her was her dad. Now when she's in the Cayman Islands, he sends her every summer. Now that she's back home in Jamaica, he doesn't want to send her. She bought her ticket, and he doesn't want to send her. What's our legal right?
You don't have a legal right because you're not her guardian. You would have to go to Jamaica and be her guardian. You can't force a father who's raising a child to send a child on a visitor's visa to America.
Okay.
You can't do it. So unless you get a divorce or a family court order from Jamaica where the child is saying you have custody of this child, then you can do whatever you want. But until then, you can't force somebody to send a child on a plane on a visitor's visa.
So what can her mom do? Her mom can't do nothing?
Well, where's her mom now? Mom's out of status here? What's the story with the mom?
Mom's in Jamaica.
So mom's in Jamaica, and the father's in the Cayman Islands, and you want to send the child?
No, the father is in the U.S. with a child.
Oh, the father's in the United States. Oh, and the father's not sending her back to Jamaica.
Yes, only because she's in Jamaica this time around, because every year he sent her when she was in the Cayman Islands.
Right. So, but the mother has no right. The mother doesn't have a visa to come to the United States.
No, not yet.
No. So that's the problem, because if the child is in the United States, you have to go to family court in the United States and get custody of that child. Once you send the child up, I misunderstood the question. Once you send the child up to the United States, and that child's living in a state, and you're living in another country, the United States has jurisdiction over whatever custody, unless there's a divorce or some other custody agreement from another country. If there's nothing, which I assume there's nothing is in place. It was just some sort of agreement between father and mother. So since there's just some agreement, oral agreement between father and mother, who has jurisdiction over this child? The place where the child is. So where's the place where the child is? New York, Connecticut, California, wherever the child may be. You have to go to that state and go to family court and get custody of that child. And until then, there's nothing you can do from Jamaica, from the Cayman Islands, to force somebody to send a child back home who's living here in the United States. So the only thing you can do is get to the United States if you can, hopefully, and then try to go into court in the state where the child is to try to get custody or some other sort of family order for that child.
Okay. But she never gave him legal rights, though. She never, handed him over to him, right?
Now, from Jamaica, depending on the state, I don't know what state the child is in, maybe there's always...
in New York in Amityville.
Okay, so, you may... I don't know what the rules of family court are in New York, in Suffolk County. But we have family court lawyers here. Megan, who was just on our show on Friday, she's one of the great attorneys here at Spar and Bernstein. Perhaps there's some sort of representation that she can do for you in family court in Suffolk County through some sort of power of attorney or something. I don't know, that she can go and represent the mother in Suffolk County without the mother physically being here. It's possible. I don't know. So, but something would have to happen in the court here. All right. So hold on one second. Hold on one second.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Jasmine in Brooklyn, New York. Jasmine.
Hi. How you doing?
Hi. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So I have a question. If I got my citizenship through the special juvenile status,
yes,
can I file for my mom?
No, because part of getting that was that you were able to prove, or somebody was able to prove, that your mom abandoned you or neglected you, so your mom can't get status now as a result of that. So your mom would have to figure out another way.
But what if it was my dad that that abandoned me? Does it really matter?
Then that may make a difference. We would have to look at the family court order. So hold on one second.
Okay.
Hold on one second, okay? Let's go to Melba in Brooklyn, New York. Melba.
Hello.
Hi, Melba.
I have a question.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi, Melba.
How are you?
How are you?
Hello.
Melba,
yes.
I'm here.
I had a question. My first husband lied to the immigration, and since then, my second marriage, we had a divorce, but my second marriage is always not grant. They don't grant me a green card because of my first husband.
Why? What happened with the first husband?
Well, he lied to the immigration, saying our marriage is fraud.
He lied to immigration and said what?
Oh, no. Yeah.
What was fraud? I understand. And are you saying that he was? You said he's lying. So what you're saying is that's not true. It was a real marriage.
Yeah, I told him it's a real marriage.
So this is the deal.
He's dead now.
Okay, this is the deal, Melba. Okay, you have to prove that now the burden shifts to you. So your first husband went in and said fraudulent marriage. As soon as a spouse says fraudulent marriage, that bars you from ever getting a green card, because the presumption is it was a fraudulent marriage. Now the burden shifts to you. So you have the burden to go in and prove he's lying. He's dead, and he's a dead liar. Okay, and he was lying when he was alive, and he's lying still when he's dead. And here's the proof that it was a real marriage. And if you can prove by the facts that it's more likely than not that this man who's dead was lying on you, then you can get a green card through the second marriage. We've helped people like that before. Okay? So it's not unheard of, but it's a big burden to overcome, and hopefully you have those facts and evidence to prove that the first marriage was real. Just because somebody says it's a fake marriage doesn't mean that's the word of God. There's lots of ways to prove this man's lying. All right? So I think you need a good lawyer. Luckily, you're talking to one. Hold on. Let's go to Monique in Jacksonville, Florida. Monique.
Hello?
Hi, Monique.
Yes, how are you?
How are you?
Okay, I'm fine. I have two questions.
Yes, go ahead.
The first one, I have my son. He's 20 years old now. Last February made him 20 years old. How many days or months I can wait for him to fill an application for me?
He's a U.S. citizen.
He born here.
Okay, the day he turns 21, what's his 21st birthday?
February 10th.
Okay, on February 10th, his 21st birthday, you don't even have to wait till February 11th. February 10th, you're putting an adjustment application in to get your green card.
Okay.
Okay?
So,
on that day,
how many-
it goes in the mail.
Okay. You think the first day I'm supposed to have everything ready and then
Yes.
send it to them?
You should be prepared 90 days before he turns 21. You should starting to put the application together. So on his 21st birthday, it's into immigration.
And 21st is supposed to be on the mail or it's already sent?
In the mail. On the 21st, you put it in the mailbox.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Hold on one
The other-
second. Oh, what else?
The other question is, I have my two girls. They have TPS thing. You don't have any way they can change TPS for something else?
Well, there's no such thing as change TPS out of thin air. You still need to have some sort of sponsorship. But what I would suggest is, basically you're saying to me you got two girls who need help. Let's see what we can do to help them. I don't have the answer off the top of my head, but after speaking to you in a private consultation, maybe we can come up with some ideas. All right, so hold on 1 second, okay? Let's go to Michelle in Bronx, New York. Michelle. Hi, Michelle.
Hello. Oh, hi, Brad. I have a question for
Yes.
you. How safe is it or unsafe to travel to Buffalo? Like, I want to take my son to college.
I don't think it's the safest thing in the world to go to Buffalo. If you're out of status, there's a lot of ICE officers working up there on the border. Just from my own experience as an attorney, I always seem to notice people up in Buffalo getting picked up by immigration in some random stops.
Even if you're flying?
Even if you're flying, you're literally on the border with Canada, literally. And there's a lot of ICE agents up there. Certainly, there's lots of people out of status walking around Buffalo, going to Buffalo back and forth without a problem. I just think that as you get closer up to the border up north, you're looking at a greater likelihood of getting stopped, whatever that may be. But certainly, your risk of getting stopped by ICE is greater in Buffalo than it is in Bronx.
Okay. So I applied for the U visa through your office, of course.
So if you have applied for the U visa, that puts you in a different position because you have a pending application as a U visa. So even if ICE stops you, you have something to show them that you have some sort of legal basis to still remain in America. Okay. So that puts you.
Do I just travel with the paper?
I would suggest yes, but come see us first before you travel so we can talk about it more.
I'm leaving tomorrow. Could I just call my lawyer?
Yes.
It's your office.
Yeah. Call tomorrow morning. Yeah, but just travel. But even if you don't reach the lawyer for whatever reason, you got to get going. Just travel with proof that you have something pending, and obviously take our number. God forbid anybody stops you.
Okay.
Okay.
So just in case it happens, should I say I don't want to talk or show them that? Just show it to them.
Show them. Yes.
Okay, great.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye.
All right. All right, let's go to Catherine in Jersey City, Jersey. Catherine.
Catherine, yeah, I am.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
What can I do to help?
Okay, I have a question. Okay, I wanna understand more about what is a U visa.
You want to understand more about it?
I want to know more about the U visa, and I wanna know the benefit of a U visa when one has a removal proceeding, and when you are applying for that U visa, can one apply for work authorization? And then number two, do you if someone has removal proceeding, do you do such cases to reopen the cases which were closed over 10 years ago?
Yes. All right. So a U visa is a victim of a crime who's someone who's out of status is the crime victim, and it was perpetrated by an American or a permanent resident. And you have to be the victim of a serious crime. You had to have assisted law enforcement in prosecuting that crime. And the reason for the U visa is they want people even who are out of status to come forward if they're crime victims. They don't want people to be victimized and then the government doesn't know about it. Now, I will tell you there's a lot more victims of crimes who are illegal aliens by American citizens and vice versa, but you wouldn't hear that from Donald Trump. Okay, there's about over 100,000 people pending with U visa applications. So at least over 100,000 people have been the victims of serious crimes perpetrated by American citizens, people who are out of status. Once you apply for that, you should be okay to stay in America. The problem is they only issue 10,000 U visas a year. So the waiting list is backed up years and years and years before you get an approval for a U visa. There is a law on the books that says if you can show humanitarian reasons why you need to work within 180 days of filing the U visa, you have a right to file for your work authorization. And people should be doing that. And whether or not you can prove humanitarian reasons is a whole other story, but you have a right to do it and a right to file for that. In addition, if you're in removal and you have a U visa application pending, they should be terminating or at least certainly taking your case off the calendar for deportation until a decision on that U visa is made. If you have a an order of deportation and you have filed a bona fide application for U visa, you should be discussing with your attorney trying to reopen that case so that warrant can be lifted. That was a mouthful. Yes.
I know. My question is, so like in your office, do you do reopening of such cases which were closed?
That's what we do here every day. All right, that's what good immigration lawyers do. Hold on one second, okay, Catherine? All right, let's go to Yvonne in Fargo, North Dakota. Yvonne.
Hi, my name is Yvonne.
How are you?
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I've been married to my husband for the past 3 years now, and we put in an application March 2015. And sometime last year, I was told I was denied because they think the marriage was based on just for me getting the green card.
Right.
And right now, I don't really know what to do. If I should reapply again.
Well, let me ask you a question. I have a fundamental question to ask you, and then I'll tell you what to do. Is this a real marriage based on love, or is this a bogus marriage for a green card? Then that will determine what to do.
It's based on love.
It's way past love. It's love. It's love, right?
Yes.
Yes. If it's love, then you should refile again and prove it's a marriage of love. All right. I mean,
okay. So how do you do it? Because
there's two. This is how you prove it's a bona fide marriage. You and your spouse live together and you have an economic relationship. If you and your spouse live together and you have an economic relationship, you've proven it's a bona fide marriage. Those are the two things. So how do you prove you live together? They're going to ask you questions. What side of the bed do you sleep on? What type of toothpaste do you use? Do the questions match? You're going to show them pictures. Here's our pictures of us living around, going around. We're at the movie theater. We're at the family reunion. Here we are at the local soccer game. I don't know, whatever it is that you guys do. Here we went to church. Here we went to the park for the day. We went on a vacation. So you bring your albums and show you're living together and have a life together. And they're going to question you about your home. What color is the couch in the living room? How many locks on your front door? In addition to that, you're going to show an economic relationship. How do you show an economic relationship? Here's our taxes together. Here's our bank statements together. Here's our credit card bills together. Here's our insurance bills together. Or whatever other things you may have to prove an economic relationship. That's how you do it. Hold on, we can help. All right, let's go to Peter in Wilmington, Delaware. Peter.
Yes, hello.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good, what's going on?
Yeah, I got a question. So, if I came in the U.S. legally, so my wife filed a Untitled for me, so it's approved, but I got order deportation. So my Untitled is approved, and I got a court. I got to meet with ICE. So they can deport me?
Yeah, they can deport you. You have a lawyer?
Yes.
All right. So you speak to your lawyer or switch lawyers and give us a call for a second consultation. But the answer is yes, they can deport you.
So it doesn't matter. I need to go to the appointment.
Well, if you don't go to the appointment, then you're going to have a warrant for your arrest, and then they're going to come knock your door down and arrest you. But they may arrest you if you go there. I have never advised anybody to run away from their problems. Okay. What you need to do is attack your problems and address them. Okay.
Because the thing is, now my wife is sick and she got surgery coming up.
Okay, you need to attack your problems, not run away from. When you run away from your problems, they only catch up to you and make it worse. So hold on, you may want a second consultation. All right.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Jasmine in Brooklyn, New York. Jasmine. 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 Jazzy. All right. We don't know what happened to Jasmine. Let's go to Kareem in Bronx. Kareem.
Yes, my name is Kareem.
How are you?
I have two. Yeah, good. Yourself?
Great. What's going on?
Yeah, I have. The first question is, I have my daughter. She's a citizen. She's 16 years old.
Yes.
Is it possible that I can file with her? Which age? Or
21.
If I can do it. 21.
For your daughter to file for you, it's going to be 21.
Oh, okay. And the second question is, I have been married with my wife since 2002.
Okay.
She has a green card now. She has a green card 3 years ago. So when she can file a petition for me?
How did she get her green card?
She in Africa we have those kind of she circumcision.
Oh, okay. So she got it through asylum because of genital mutilation. If you were married to her when she filed her asylum claim, you're included on that case. You can get your green card immediately.
Yeah, they didn't put it.
Okay, so now come to us so we can put it and get you your green card. All right. You should. We can get you your green card if you were married to your wife at the time she filed for her asylum. You're included on that case. Okay, we can still help you. You're entitled to your green card now. Hold on, you don't have to wait. I don't know what you've been doing for the last 15 years, but let's do it now. Hold on, while the going's good, because who knows with Trump. Okay, all right, let's go. So Kareem, we can help. Monique in Jacksonville, Florida. Monique.
Oh, we already talked.
We spoke. So why are they telling me to go back and spoke to Monique? We got to get on the ball there, people. Manpreet, Queens. Manpreet, what's going on?
Hey, sir. This is Manpreet.
Yes.
I have a Wawa case in New York. My brother filed for me under 21 in New York, and my two petitions, I-360, I-480, still not approved. My case has been proved from the immigration court in 2015, 8 December. But now they give me a
Who's sponsoring you?
Card one time.
Who's sponsoring you?
My brother Sahib.
So let me understand this. You were in deportation. Your brother filed for you back in the day, and the judge terminated your deportation, allowed you to adjust your status?
No, sir. I came in 2013, but I came to New York and my brother filed my case under 21. Like he adopted me.
I see. So your brother filed for you as if he was your father because he didn't adopt. Excuse me, he didn't adopt.
Yeah, that was Wawa case, VAWA, Violence Against Women Act, something like that.
Wait a second. That's different. That means you were the victim of abuse.
Yeah.
So your brother's not adopting you.
but my brother, when I go to the court, my brother was with me, and judge was saying you gave him everything. Like he said yes, and that
All
was
right.
like adopting it.
No, no. There's a Violence Against Women Act, which is that you were married to someone who was abusive to you. There's a brother adopting you before you were 16 who's a U.S. citizen. Those are two different things. So I think one of the things we got to get to the bottom of is what's going on with your case before I can advise you why you don't have a green card. So you're in Queens. So one second, Manpreet. You're in Queens. I'm in New York.
Yes, sir.
It's the next county. Make an appointment. Bring in the paperwork so we can advise you. Hold on. All right. Let's go to Catherine in Jersey City. Catherine, we spoke with you already, right?
I have a question. I know
you have another
you
question.
jump over me.
Okay, what's your question,
Yes.
Catherine?
My question is, I have like I-360 approved, okay, which was approved. I have I-360 approved.
Right, that's a VAWA case.
2013. Yes, since 2013, okay. And then there was this like a case of like over the removal proceedings. What can I do? What can I do to have the case reopened so that I can have my papers go through?
So you have a VAWA case approved and you're getting your work permit denied?
Right now, no, they are holding it for a while. For the last almost 18 months, they are holding it.
I don't understand a word you're saying. All I heard was you have a VAWA. Pick up your phone and talk without the earpiece. You have a VAWA case approved and your work permit's getting denied, and why?
They have not reduced the work order, the work authorization for the. I have no idea why.
I don't know either. But if you come in, if you have a VAWA approved, you're entitled to it, and we can fix it. So hold on. All right. So she doesn't know, I don't know, but we'll get to the bottom of it. Let's go to Alberto in Tampa, Florida.
How are you?
Hi.
I'm calling regarding my stepdad. He, prior to 2008, before he left back to Costa Rica, he was here for about 20 years. Him and my mom he was here for over 20 years. Him and my mom have been together officially for around that time, over 20 years, but they officially got married back in the year 2000. Long story short, I guess prior to him meeting my mom, I guess he ended up getting pulled over for something in his car, or I guess the broken taillight or something, where basically they saw that he wasn't documented, so they gave him a date to leave. He never left. In 2008, he left on his own will.
So he's self-deported.
Deported, yeah. After 2008, he ended up leaving on his own will, on his own.
Okay.
Now he's just trying to come back into the States.
What is your Alberto? Are you a citizen?
Yes, I am. My mom is. He's married to my mother, though. He never legally adopted us, but he raised us.
Okay, but he never. But okay, and when did he marry your mom? When you were under 18?
Yeah. I think it was back in 2000. I'm 26 as of this year.
And you're a U.S. citizen. And when he left 10 years ago, he only left because he had traffic offenses. He didn't have any criminal record, right?
Yeah, no, he never had any criminal. The reason why he left, it was, I guess, his sister was terminally ill, so he wanted to go back home.
All right. So the answer is you're his stepson because he married your mom before you were 18 years old. He met my mom when I was 3.
Yeah,
you can file for him.
I can file for him?
Yeah, you're a U.S. citizen. You're over the age of 21. He has a 10-year bar, both because he left under an order of deportation and because he lived here illegally, but there's waivers for all of that. And we can get him to come back.
Oh, my God. I thought because my mom was the only legally person married to him that only she was the one.
Well, you can do it, too, because you're his stepson. Or your mom can do it, either one.
Oh, my God. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
All right. All right.
So, I definitely want to go over that. If I can get like a second consultation or something, so I go over more personally.
Yep. Hold on one second.
Thank you.
All right. Changing lives one call at a time here. 1-800-529. That's our new logo. Changing lives one call at a time. 1-800-529-5465. Susie in Naples, Florida. Susie.
Hello.
Susie.
Yes.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
What's going on?
I'm calling regarding my sister.
Yes.
She has a green card holder, and she's traveled outside the U.S. with a domestic violence. So I wonder what's gonna happen when she's coming back.
They could stop her. They could stop her at the airport because she has an inadmissible offense if she has if she has a crime for domestic violence. Nobody should ever be traveling outside the United States with any criminal conviction. In 2018 with Donald Trump as president. What I would suggest she do is have a consultation with us before she gets on an airplane. So hold on one second. Let's go to Kevin in the Bronx. Kevin.
Yes, Brad.
What's up?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Yeah, I have a problem. I supposed to be qualified for my citizenship in October, but I don't get my 10-year green card as yet because the reason why I get a divorce from my wife. I get a divorce from my wife, and I already go through the divorce, and I bring it to immigration. Yeah, I have a lawyer before, and we both go to the interview, and the lawyer gave me the immigration officer gave me, I don't remember how much days to get the divorce finalized.
Right.
I get it finalized before the days, and I
submit it.
Send it into immigration, and I don't hear nothing from that.
How long has it been?
I'm supposed to be.
How long has it been?
From September.
Well,
going over to October.
if you want, you can have you. All right, so it's a year. You should hear something by now. If you want, you're in the Bronx. We're in Manhattan. Come see us, and we'll follow up for you. If your lawyer's not doing it for you, hold on. Let's go to Oreen in Miami, Florida. Oreen.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
What's going on?
I have a quick question. If, for instance, someone is over 25, but they came to America on a visitor visa, but their mother wants to put in their papers, they have to go back home?
Unless they're 245I, yes.
Oh, okay.
All right.
And the next quick question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead quickly.
Okay. After you do your fingerprints, how long does it take for you to get a response?
For your work permit, about 3 to 4 months.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, hold on one second. Maureen in West Palm Beach.
And to what?
Maureen.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi there. My name
I'm
is
sorry,
Marisol.
Marisol. My apologies, Marisol.
Hi. I was just calling because I wasn't able to get DACA because my husband and I we were living paycheck to paycheck, and things were extremely hard. Electricity being off and all that type of stuff. Now he's an assistant manager, so now he's making really good money. Am I able to get residency? I did not come legally. My parents brought me when I was 4 years old.
Marisol, you talk so fast.
Yeah.
I slow down. I can't.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I know you're nervous and you have a lot to say. Just slow down so I can help you. All right. So all I know is you're out of status. Start again.
Yes. Yeah, I did not come here legally. My husband is a U.S. citizen. He's making, enough money for us to be able to get a lawyer now. I wasn't able to get DACA even though I was able, I had all the requirements.
Your answer is, can you get a green card? The answer is yes. If you're married to a citizen, I can get you a green card no matter how you got here. All right?
Okay. Even if I have a petty theft on my record that I got when I was 18?
Yes.
Okay,
We can help you.
awesome. So,
all right, so
like I said, now he's making enough money, so now we could actually afford to change my status.
So the next step would be have a consultation with us so we can get the process going for you and make your life better.
Okay,
hold on one
perfect.
second.
I'm definitely going to call to make an appointment.
Hold on. All right. The first step to making your life better is start the process. I'm going to take one more call, and then we're going to go to social media. How's that? Cool. All right. Chantel in Baltimore, Maryland. Chantel.
Hello, Brad. How are you? I have a question.
Yes.
So my husband filed I-130 for me, I think it was in January.
Right.
And now I'm trying to file for VOWA because he's very abusive. I've been seeing counseling for the past months and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, and I did put in his figure at the time in January. So my question, if I file VOWA now, would my kids fall back in the time period for come here? Would they start counting from the time I file VOWA now?
What would happen is you would let your marriage case continue so you can get your work permit. You would file an I-360 only. You would have the receipt. When you go for your interview on your marriage case, you would bring in the receipt to the interview, tell the officer, I filed for VAWA, and then he'll switch it there at the interview.
Okay, so then I would have to wait and all of that before my kids come here, right?
Correct. Your kids won't be able to come until your vow is approved.
Until it's approved.
All right, but hold on. We can help you. Hold on one second. Okay?
All right.
All right. And that was Chantel in Baltimore, Maryland. We can go on and on. We have a whole bunch of people on hold still. If you want to hang out for a little bit, we will get to you, I promise you. But we got to get to social media too. There's lots of people on social media as well. I have so much paper here. Where's all this? A lot going on here. Look at all this paper I got. That's what I was looking for. Thank you very much.
I got you.
You got me.
I got you.
Belgium Kim got me.
I got you.
I got you.
I
got you. All right. So with that said, where are we at with sharing?
Not doing good.
Not doing good.
well.
Nobody's interested in me. We'll come up with something new for me tomorrow.
I just
Nobody
great.
Nobody
I thought
cares.
that was a great prize.
Watch this. Watch me twerk again. And there'll be like 1,000 shares, right?
Yeah, exactly. The people
just want to see me dance.
The people love that. You're a great dancer, Brad.
I'm not a good dancer. That's why they want to see it.
That's what makes it fun.
They just want to. They're not laughing with me. They're laughing at me.
Yeah, but if you're laughing with them, then what's the
difference? That's right. What's the difference? Right.
Yeah, so we're only at 114 shares.
Forget it. Call the guy and cancel him.
Yeah, cancel.
Exactly.
Cancel him.
That's it.
Tell him he's got no job.
Makeup artist is done.
Yeah, it's done.
Disappointed.
114 shares.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. All right. So this is the time. This is the time when we will be answering your immigration questions that you've watched, or your legal questions, or any question you have. Maybe Belgium Kim or Jonathan, they don't have. They have a question about anything. What hairstyle they should be doing. What they should eat for dinner tonight. I don't know. Whatever questions they have on social media, I will do my best to answer it.
Oh,
okay?
I would love some dinner wraps.
Yes. All right. Sometimes dinner is the hardest question. You're like, I don't know. Should I have meat, pasta, rice, soup, salad? I don't know. And then you're like, I'm interested in no food, but I'm hungry. You ever have those times when you're like, I'm hungry and there's absolutely nothing interesting me?
Yeah.
And yesterday I had that. I settled on being healthy and getting avocados. I walk in all excited, like, can I get 2 avocados, please? Nothing. I ate ice cream.
By the way, I'm the only person in the world, I think, who doesn't like avocados.
What?
You're crazy.
Yes.
That guy right
Not
there.
an avocado.
What?
Crazy.
Not an avocado person.
That's appalling.
Yes, appalling.
That's appalling.
All right, so any event, this is the time when we will be answering your social media questions, whatever they may be. If you have some serious immigration questions, I'll answer it. Something less than serious, I'll answer that as well. And this is what we call social media check-in. All right, what do you got?
All right, I got a long first one.
All right.
It's a couple of questions. This is from
God.
Catherine
I need a pen for this?
Simon. Possibly.
Possibly.
All right, was that good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I would like to know how long it takes for a U visa to be approved.
Years.
Oh, okay. That's it.
Years. More than 2. Maybe 3. Who knows?
All right. When can one apply for work authorization? Can it be applied during the time one is applying for a U visa or after?
There's 2 times to apply for work authorization on a U visa. One time when it's approved, which is years later, everyone's entitled to it, or 180 days after filing if you can show humanitarian reasons why you need it before your U visa is approved.
If one has a removal proceedings and has I-360 approved and you have a certification from the prosecution office, can one still apply for a U visa? And if yes, what's the procedure and how long will that take?
Well, you wouldn't do a U visa. You have an I-360 approved your Violence Against Women Act. That's much faster. You don't have a waiting list of years and years for that. So that's the way I would go. And you can get a work permit with an I-360.
That part. All right, and if one is granted a U visa, do you still remain a fugitive? Can one be deported with a U visa?
Yes. You still need to get your case reopened.
Thank you. That was a lot.
That
was good.
I got a long second question too.
Oh my God!
We have a lot of questions.
You know what? I complain when they don't give me all the details.
Yes.
Never happy.
Never happy. Never ever happy.
We have a question from Michael who says, good evening. I filed my adjustment of status in December and I just received my work permit in May. But I'd like to know if it's true that if I get my interview at the same time for my green card in the same month or after my 2-year anniversary, Would that then make me qualify for a 10-year green card instead of the 2-year conditional?
If you get your green card 2 years after the date of your marriage, you get a permanent green card. That's the answer.
All right. We have one from Muhammad Kamrul Islam Soni. All right.
That name is long.
It is. Please talk about L1A visa.
That's an intra-company transferee visa. You have to be working for a company outside the United States for at least 1 out of the last 3 years. And the company outside the United States has to own at least 50% of the company in the United States, and then you can transfer as an executive manager or supervisor to manage people. And that's a work visa. And then you can get a green card through that.
And you can get a green card through that.
I don't know what the question is. He just asked me to talk about it.
That was...
Just talk about it.
And you talked about it.
Okay.
You
If there's a more specific question, I'll be happy to get into the specifics.
Awesome.
I just felt like talking about it.
Abigail wants to know, who are you cheering for in the World Cup?
I'm sad to say nobody.
Y'all, Brad says it FIFA.
I said FIFA.
Right.
I'm really not a soccer fan
You're not
or
watching
football. I'm not watching it.
You don't get wrapped up in the madness?
No.
Who won today? Do you know?
No.
Did
Do you
Nigeria
know
win?
my son went all the way to the Ukraine last month to watch the European Championships. He's a huge
Oh my God.
He's a huge soccer fan, and I can care less.
Well, who is Zach pulling for?
Zach was pulling for Manchester United.
Well, but what about in the World Cup?
I have no idea. I didn't ask him.
Wow.
Horrible.
Go Belgium.
Yes.
All right, Missy Anderson says, my husband filed for me and I was denied by USCIS. We are separated but not divorced. I'm planning on filing for my VAWA because I was being abused. Is it okay if I close our joint bank account?
Yes, because now that you're filing for VAWA, you just have to prove that the marriage was real, not that it's continuing to be real. And certainly you're being abused and you're filing for VAWA and you're separating. There's no reason to have a joint account.
Anita said, hi, I'm Anita from Maryland. I came to the U.S. on August 22nd of 2016 as a visitor and applied for asylum. I have my cousin here in Minnesota. I want to know what could I do to get an express interview?
Nothing. Just got to wait the process.
All right, I have one from Vivian Cardi. After you do the interview, how long does it take to get the green card?
Cardi.
Vivian Cardi.
Okay, not Cardi B.
Not Cardi B.
Right.
Ooh, but I'm kind of surprised you know who Cardi B
I know
is.
Cardi B.
Cardi B is
Why would
like
they be so surprised?
Poppin'.
That's true.
Come on.
You're pretty hip with the music.
I'm hip.
You're
I just
very
can't
hip with
twerk. That's all.
music.
Do you twerk to Cardi B?
I do not twerk to anybody. I only twerked that one time. Although I did claim in the video that I twerk all day long.
Twerk all day.
Yeah.
No dare at all.
It should be on 90 to 120 days from the time of the interview to get your green card. If after 120 days you haven't gotten it, then there's an issue. Give us a call.
Ren said, my friend's mom is married not to a U.S. citizen. She overstayed her B1, B2 visa and also had a baby using government assistance. Her dad, however, is a U.S. citizen. What she'd like to know is if could her dad file for her being in the U.S. or could she file an adjustment of status while she's still here?
Dad could file for her, but she's not going to file an adjustment because it's about a 7-year wait. I don't know how she's going to file an adjustment otherwise.
All right, I have one from Beverly Robinson King. Hello, Brad. I'm still here waiting for my work authorization. Did my biometric in March.
4 months.
So how long do I
4
have
months,
left?
Beverly.
Left?
No, April, May, June, July, you'll get it.
So 1 mere month.
1 mere month left.
Marisol said, I came here illegally at 4 and I wasn't able to get, she called, didn't she?
Yes.
She called.
That was the fast talking Marisol from Florida.
Oof, my goodness.
Yes.
She was making my head spin.
Right. I need her for the end of our commercials.
Right.
Yeah.
Past successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future.
Right. And I was going to say, she should be like a auction
An
host.
auctioneer,
Yeah, right.
exactly.
I heard 7, I heard 8, I heard 9, I heard 10. Sold to number with 10. Nope, I hear 11.
Or a rapper. She could
Yes.
also be a rapper.
A twister.
Yes.
A twister, if you will. Yeah, exactly. Busta Rhymes coming. Olakunle says, Could you please talk more about advanced parole? I'm really wondering, is it risky to travel with it or not?
It's not risky. It's never been risky. If it's issued, you should be able to go and come back as long as you don't stay out for long periods of time.
All right, Cheryl Brown asks, how often can a green card holder travel?
As much as you want, but you have to be physically in the United States more than outside the United States, and no trip more than 6 months at a time.
Catherine says, one of my friends has a deportation and the other has an I-360? 1360?
360.
360. There you go. Could you handle that?
Yes, I can.
Can handle it all.
I can handle it.
All you
Come
guys?
on, that's all you got? Of course I can handle it.
Come on.
Come on, give me something hard I can't handle.
Right. All right, I got one from Chin Carter.
Yeah.
Hi, Brad. My friend wants to know how long it takes for a VAWA to approve.
About 18 to 24 months. I'm waiting for someone to now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm waiting for someone to tell me now they're like, their drama between, girlfriends. I'm like, no, I can't handle drama between girlfriends.
Oh, right. Yeah,
that's
where
where
it's
it
like,
ends. I can't handle that. I'm sorry. I don't know what you should be telling Trish, I have no idea. I don't know what you should be texting Trish at this moment.
Although that's not entirely true, because you have given some fantastic relationship advice before on the show. Every once in a while, it turns into Brad's Love Doctor hour.
That'd be funny. I'm like, no, I don't handle that. That's way too much drama for me.
Whoa. Cut and run. We've got one question from Elaine, and Elaine said, Brad, my two daughters are aged 12 and 14, and they came here on a visitor's visa in August of 2015 and returned back to Jamaica a little over a year later in November of 2016. I want them to come back for summer holidays, but seeing that they previously overstayed their visa, do you think it's okay, and do you think that they're all actually going to let them come? I'm a U.S. citizen.
They will not let them come. They overstayed their visa. Their visas are no longer valid. So they will not be able to do that. Let's take two more questions, and we got to move on.
Okay.
All right. I have one from Wayne Sutton. After I married my girlfriend in the Philippines, how long to get here to the USA?
If she's a U.S. citizen, if you are a U.S. citizen, she should be here in about 14, 15 months.
Amit says, could I get asylum even though my 1-year mandatory period has been gone? I'm a victim as a minority in my country.
Yes, but you have to show changed circumstances, meaning that if you're the victim as a minority in your country and you were a victim when you came to America, and then you have to file within a year. That's the law. So now the question is going to become, why'd you wait more than a year? And the only way to get around that is to show, well, something happened that now my life is in danger where before it wasn't. I'll tell you where that comes into play a lot. Comes into play with same-sex marriages and homosexuality, meaning that, I was always, in a same-sex relationship, but nobody knew about it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now somebody found out about it, and as a result, circumstances have changed. Something like that sometimes. But, if you're saying, I'm being, persecuted because I'm a Muslim or I'm a Christian or I'm a Jew or I'm a Hindu, and you were always a Christian or a Muslim or a Hindu or a Jew since the day you were born, and they've always been persecuting whatever religion you are, well, then nothing's changed.
Right. Okay.
You have to do that within the year.
Got it.
Okay. Or they were never persecuting, my minority, and now there's been a change of power in the government, and now they are.
Right.
Something like that.
Okay.
All right. So with that being said, we have, you know what, Belgium Kim?
What, Brad?
Let me take some calls first.
Okay. That was such a tease.
Yes. Eva in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Eva.
Hi. Yes, I am a U.S. citizen born here. My husband is from Haiti. He's been here since '96. He had a voluntary deportation between '96 and '97,
right,
or '98. I married him. Well, met him '99. Married 2001. Filed for 485. 2005.
Right, but you had to reopen the case. Did you ever reopen his case?
That's what I'm trying to find out what to do.
You need to reopen the case. That's why he's never gotten his green card. You have to make a joint motion to reopen his case because he had a voluntary departure and he didn't leave. which turns into an order of deportation. And you have to show, humanitarian reasons. You have to show very good hardship on why he can't go back to Haiti and has to stay here. And we're good at that. Hold on, but you got to reopen the case first, okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Craig in Las Vegas. Craig.
Hello.
That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing. Craig.
Hello.
Craig, got to take a step to the right. Put your hands on your hip.
Okay.
Put your knees in tight.
Okay. All right.
No, he works now. You see that works.
The time warp
Time warp always works. Craig, what's going on?
Yeah, my question is, I'm having a little problem with affidavit of support sponsorship. Could you just explain how does it work?
An affidavit of support? Well, if you're getting sponsored by a family member, everyone has to file an I-864. The petitioner has to file it, whether the petitioner makes money or not. And the petitioner has to support that person, whether it's a spouse or a parent or a child filing, has to support that person 125% above the poverty level. Unless that petitioner is in the military, then it's 100% above the poverty level. If that petitioner, after all their other support obligations, can't support the person that they're sponsoring 125% above the poverty level, and how do you prove that? 3 years tax returns, a job letter, and a bank letter. Then you get a second affidavit of support from somebody who can help you out. That's the basic gist of it.
Okay, but the president has money in their bank account?
No, they need to have money on their tax returns to show that they can support 125% above the poverty level. But Craig, hold on one second, because we are having a bad connection. We do want to help you, so stay on hold. Okay? All right. So, Belgium Kim.
Brad.
Tell me what you did on Sunday.
I celebrated New York City's Pride Parade.
Pride Parade?
Absolutely.
Really?
June is Pride Month.
Uh-huh.
All over the world.
All over the world.
And New York celebrates it typically the last weekend of June.
Last week of June.
And so this was Pride. And Pride is my Christmas, Brad.
It's your Christmas.
It's my Christmas. It's the greatest time of the year in New York. You feel the most love, the most amazingness. I live
It's a very
for Pride.
crowded parade there.
It's a very crowded parade unless you're marching or you're on a float,
Right, because
and then you've got
that's
the whole
not so.
street.
So you were on the float.
I was on a float and I marched.
Fancy.
So I saw on Instagram that you
Yeah.
had a very revealing
Oh,
outfit.
Yeah. I go crazy, Brad. I planned this out for months.
You were extraordinarily revealing on Instagram.
I'm pretty revealing. I'm a little risque.
All right, let's watch.
Hey Brad Squad, it's Belgium Kim, and we are at New York City Pride. It is the world's second largest Pride parade, only second to Brazil's Sao Paulo Pride. There are tens of thousands of people expected to march in the parade, myself included, and there are millions of spectators here to watch the parade and celebrate love in all of its forms. We are taking you inside the march down Fifth Avenue, ending in Greenwich Village, passing the famous Stonewall Inn, where the gay rights movement started in the 1960s. Check it out!
For my sister, my cousin, everybody who I know. I have my best friend who's also gay. Anybody in the world. I'm all about love, unity, all that good stuff.
I want to experience the freedom and the right to be free and be who I am with my sexuality and experience with other people and share with other people. That's why I'm here.
Just coming out, like, I want to see what's out there, just represent, be a part of who I am. For me, this is what it's about.
I'm marching for trans women of color. I'm marching for immigrants, those children in cages, and everybody else.
I'm a gay man. This is where we can amplify our voices, make ourselves known.
I'm marching for LGBTQ, everyone who is too afraid to come out.
for can't come out. I'm marching for everyone who loves. That's it.
I'm marching for literally everybody. It's a day for everyone to be just proud of who they are. Most of my friends are LGBTQ, ABCDEFG, this and that. You know, like I know a diverse range of people, and I'm marching for all of them. I just think everyone should just be proud of themselves on this day.
Jeff Sessions just passed down that victims of domestic violence were no longer allowed to claim political asylum, which is unfortunately, depending on how that could be ruled, could end up hurting LGBTQ teens around the world who are ostracized from their own families. How do you feel about that?
It's been since the beginning of America to accept people without regard of their religion and to say, come into our country, we will protect you. There's a separation of church and state that should be here, and we're going to accept you no matter who you are. And to say all of a sudden that, no, you're going to be criminalized and even like put to death in your country because of something that we would accept you here for? Why? Why are we doing that? That doesn't make sense. And I really hope that in some way, in some fashion, primarily by voting in November, that we're going to be reversing that and making a change.
It's going way too far. I think, you know, aside from Donald Trump being someone who just says very racial and like insensitive things, we lost a sense of humanity in this country. And at the end of the day, we're all human and we all love differently, we all express differently, and we should all have the right, whether we're gay, straight, black, white, Puerto Rican, we should all have the same rights and we should all be able to do the same things as them.
This administration is cruel, and that's another example of how cruel they can be.
Every policy that they're trying to establish will eventually affect our community. So that's why even if somehow we don't think that's related to us, we should still fight for them.
I mean, I think if anyone's in an unsafe situation and there's a safe place that could protect them from this unsafe situation, they should be able to remain there.
Now, one of the big things that has happened, particularly for the LGBTQ community under Trump's administration, is that he would no longer allow transgender people in the military. What did you think about it?
The first thing I did was start donating to organizations that are fighting that. But you know, any person that wants to fight in our military or be in our military in any aspect should be able to. It's just sad.
Honestly, it's just so stupid. Transgender, cisgender, whatever you are, you're still human.
Who else can serve this country better than those people who genuinely happy?
Nothing is, you know, you may not like it, I respect where we're proud of who we are, you know. Anyone wants to challenge that, you know, they'll get a challenge.
I think that's completely ridiculous. I mean, gender has nothing to do with your ability to serve your country or make rational decisions. Whatever you're serving over there is not affected by your gender or your sexual orientation or any of these issues that people think seem to get in the way of being able to do your job. But if you're capable of doing the efforts that are required in your position, you should be allowed to have that job.
What is your American dream?
My American dream is that eventually, hopefully, you know, we'll all be able to come together and realize that we all deserve the same things. One day none of that will matter. Whether your sexual orientation, your racial, identity, doesn't matter. We're all humans, we all deserve love, we all deserve care, we all deserve loyalty and honesty, and one day, hopefully, this country will actually represent those things.
My American dream is affordable health care, equal pay for women.
My American dream, to grow up, to have a nice family like everyone else, but to also be happy, as Queen Beyonce has said.
If you really love your son or your sibling, or your family member, for who they are, then you'll stick with them. You'll be there 100%. You know, but you got some families that, I mean, when they come out, it's gonna take a minute to sink in. You know, I ain't gonna lie. You know, when my mother found out, she wasn't so happy about that. It's gonna take time. You know? In the meantime, I'll let you continue doing me.
I'm from a very conservative country where I cannot be who I am. So I'm here seeking for a better life. But I want something more than that. I want to give back. I want to be a professor in the future. I'm doing my master, and eventually I want to do my PhD. And I want the American people to see that people who are coming from all over the world, we are not coming here to take away your job. We are here to make contributions, because the ability to be free and to be authentic is a gift. I just wish that one day, if I can become an American citizen, I can vote. That would be a wonderful, wonderful gift for me, and I would do everything I can to give back to you.
My American dream is to live fast, die young, and leave the world a better place than I found it.
That's beautiful. Okay, Brad Squad, we saw amazing outfits, beautiful colors, but above all, an outstanding celebration of love. Until next time, Brad Squad.
A whole hug fest.
That's why Pride is the best.
Yes. All right. Well, great job there.
Right.
you.
Everyone seems to like the wig.
Ah, let me tell you, do they ever? I think
Right.
there might be big plans for that wig.
Yeah, but you want to know what?
You're
Didn't
not
share.
wearing it.
I ain't wearing it. All right, let's go to Eva in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Eva.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, how are you?
Yes, with my husband. Involuntary deportation, 96. With asylum, I guess he did asylum then, and from what he was saying, he never received a court date, so they gave him an involuntary deportation, and from there, 2001.
That would be an in absentia order, which is different than voluntary departure.
Okay.
All right. So in other words, if you get ordered deported, you didn't know when and where to show up. That's an in absentia order. They ordered you deported in absentia. You weren't there. And there's a Constitution in the United States, and the Constitution says you have due process rights, and you have substantive process rights, no matter what Donald Trump says. And one of the rights you have that anybody has in the United States of America is you have a right to defend yourself in a court hearing. And those rights are trampled on if they don't tell you when and where to show up to defend yourself. So if you have proof, that you were not given proper, notice of when and where to show up, you have every right to reopen your case. All right, and we can certainly help. And there was a Supreme Court decision on that just last week that reaffirmed all that, 8-1 in favor of immigrants.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So hold on 1 second. All right.
Okay.
All right. So with that, let's go. Final social media check-in. Let's go.
All right, I have one from Amanda Smith. So her question is, my son-in-law already got his green card, but still's waiting on an interview date. Was received in January and was updated in line for interview in May 2nd. Still no date yet. How long more for the wait? Thank you.
Who's sponsoring him?
So does not say, but it's her son-in-law that already got her green card. So
if he got his green card, then what is he waiting on?
So he already got his green card, but still waiting on an interview date. Was received in January.
That doesn't make any sense. You either have a green card, then you don't need an interview. Or you don't have a green card, then you're waiting on your interview date.
Right.
I don't know who's sponsoring you. We need a lot more information.
Do you ever need an interview for anything
if you have
after you get a green card?
No, unless you were going to become a citizen.
Okay.
Need more info.
She actually called and she said that she hung up. So Amanda Smith, if you can call again, try and call and give more info.
Yes.
Mary Anderson wants to know, what's the fee for citizenship?
$725.
Catherine M. Simon says, is it true that closed deportation cases for non-appearance in court are not being reopened in Newark, New Jersey?
Not true.
June wrote this in all caps, but I'm not going to shout it. Said, I have a question.
Don't shout.
Yeah, right?
It
would just startle. I've got a question. I petitioned for my 3 single adult children in 2010. They got approved in 2013. How much longer until we actually get to see their visas?
And these are married or unmarried children?
Unmarried.
And what month in 2010?
We don't know the month. We know it was in 2010 and then they got approved in 2013, but we don't know the exact
Because
month.
they're up to April 22nd, 2011. So basically, they should have got their visas a year ago. So unless they're married, there's a problemo, as they say south of the border.
Right.
Problemo.
Problemo.
Give us a call.
All right, Aaliyah Hughes says, hello everyone, my husband is a U.S. citizen. I got an interview date. I haven't worked over 6 years. Do you think it's going to be a problem?
No, as long as your husband's working, he's the U.S. citizen. It's not a problem.
Amanda sent us an update. She said he didn't get his green card, he got his work permit.
Aha.
Your green card interview will come about 7-8 months after you get your work permit.
All right, rebellious Kathy.
Just can't be Kathy.
No, it's
rebellious.
Oh,
It's not enough just to be Kathy.
At all.
It's not enough. You got to be rebellious,
You gotta
Kathy.
be rebellious.
Okay,
Kathy.
rebellious Kathy. We like that name.
I like her.
Yes.
Good
Already
afternoon.
like her.
Yeah.
Like the way she's thinking.
She's spunky.
I like the way she thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good afternoon. Is it legal to make a child while on a visitor's visa? And also, does the same restriction apply to people with visa waiver passports if they make a child in America?
All right. So you're not making America great, according to Donald Trump.
Right.
If you make a child in America. Now, in all seriousness, it is not illegal to have sex on a visitor's visa. You could be making children all day long. Okay, because that's them making the child. What you can't do is give birth here on a visitor's visa. Because if you gave birth on a visitor's visa, you've misrepresented the purpose of you coming. Why? Because there's no way for you to give birth and stay legal on a visitor's visa, since it's only 6 months on a visitor's visa and a pregnancy is 9 to 10 months. So that's, I think, is the answer that she was looking for.
Yeah.
There we go. We have a question from Antoinette, who said, I left the USA 20 years ago on my green card and never returned. Could I return for my son's wedding without an issue?
No, you have an issue, which is your green card expired. You need to go get a visitor's visa.
All right, Felly says, hey, sir, I'm married to an American man. I'm here already in the U.S. and waiting for my green card. I have a 24-year-old son who lives in the Philippines. Can my husband petition for him to come to the U.S.?
Only if the marriage happened before he was 18. Otherwise, no.
Marcia says, how could someone go about finding the expiration date of a lost green card?
What's called a Freedom of Information Act request.
All right.
What's so funny?
Because we're just trying to figure out
our order.
No one has told you who. No one cares who asks the question as long as they get the question.
No.
We said that in the
Nobody
beginning.
cares.
We said that in the beginning of the show. Let's have a. Nobody cared. Nobody cared to share. It was like a nobody cares day.
They just wanted to watch and be entertained, Brad.
Right.
They're done with the contest.
No.
That hurts my feelings. I
that
don't
would hurt
think
my
so.
No,
okay.
Surely not.
Right. Surely not.
Surely not.
All right,
Stop
Maureen Pamela Neal says, I overstayed on my Jamaican passport in the Bahamas for the period of 3 months. Think when I apply for my American visa in Jamaica, they will turn me down. Is this true?
Why would they turn him down?
Because they possibly because they overstayed
3 months?
In the Bahamas, their Jamaican passport.
No. Not a problem.
That's all we got, Brad.
That's all we have. All right, so we still have what we like to call our comment or comments of the day. Belgium Kim.
Yes.
Drum roll, please.
Our first one is from new Bradshaw Live comedian Alec Hockenberger. Alec said at the very beginning of the show, Bradshaw Live is always the best way to end a long day at twerk.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and twerk
That's
with
funny.
the twerk.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And comment of the day is from Abigail. Abigail wants to see something.
What?
She has an important question. She said, Brad's wig is making an appearance on Belgium Kim's head.
Apparently, because it's not making an appearance on the show, because nobody sadly shared. So today was the last day for Brad's wig. We'll come up with something tomorrow. Maybe it just wasn't a good enticement.
I think it was.
Nobody
didn't realize
it was not a good. That was it.
Wig was up for grabs.
Yeah. Well, it's too late now. Yeah. So. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for not sharing. Wink, wink. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.